Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. For some reason, my mice is like rolling by itself. It's kind of a little bit weird, but let's check the inbox and see what you guys are asking me today. After I read this little message down here, hi Flynn, I am a biggest fan. Oh, it's in the heart. That's pretty cute. That's awesome that I have fans and stuff. So we'll go from top down because these are the most recents. We're here every stream. Famous words. iFlynn Warframe. You're supposed to say we're here every day on the stream. Feels Bam. Also, Barokatir needs a rope and a solid knot. You seen his items? DE, please. Awesome. Alright. Thanks, Wolfie. I appreciate it, man. I think he just wanted that in the video. How can I freeze my tits off when I don't have tits? Why does it cancel out the first time then? What? I want this explained in detail with a 21 Pilot song in the background. If you do not do this, you are a homophobe. What? So, if we're lacking in context here and you don't watch the streams, I said that I was freezing my tits off on one of the streams, and then I don't like 21 Pilots because I just don't like the type of band. I don't like the lyrics in their music. So yeah, I hate it. I skip them instantly on stream. So yeah, and then I get called a homophobe because I accidentally called them gay on stream as an insult, which my bad, shouldn't have called them gay, and then the entire chat called me a homophobe. Which feels bad, man. It kind of sucks that now that's used against me 24/7. But yeah. Hey, I thought you might need these on your journey, and could you show us your Prime build? I will rub it, and so will the rest of us. So let's check out. We got nanospores. Awesome. I love nanospores. So Prime builds. Let's actually, can we? I don't know. Maybe I can't. But my Prime build is pretty MLG because it's the lazy man's Prime build, at least in my opinion, because you only have to put free form on it, right? So what I put up here is your crit chance, so up there. So Hornet Strike Lethal Torrent, Bar of the Fusion, and then you have your Prime Pistol Gambit on here for crit chance, so you can get some consistent crits and get that 2.5 multiplier on there. You have a 5.7 on your Buckshot, which is what this build is centered around, because of the 100% status that you can get. So it's basically a miniature Sancti Tigris. So you have your Pistol, Pestilence, Jolt, Scorch, and Frostbite on there, just so you can knock things over and murder them pretty quickly. So, you know, this is like a free shot weapon on a level 140 if you use this build, and then use the alt fire to kill them. Pretty awesome, right? I have this extra dash polarity on here, even though it's a V right there. But this is a dash polarity, which is why it's red. Because I was going to go for a crit build originally, but then I looked at the Buckshot stats and I was like, okay, well, let's go for the 100% status because why not? So yeah, that's the Prime build, and I appreciate the message. Also, if you're wondering what the green dog is about, well, that's a Dat Boy dog. And yeah, there you go. So, hey Flynn, whoops, this is not thing. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, there we go. Yo, sup Flynn. Question, what do you think about the idea to be able to enter someone else's ship? For example, when you're in a 4-man squad, to be able to enter other squad member ships. Keep up the good work. See ya. PS, I heard you like Arkwing, so enjoy it. The poster. I don't know where you heard that I like Arkwing from. I find it's a cool concept. So yeah, I guess thanks for the poster. But yeah, so entering other person's ships, it's been something which has been, I guess, leaked before because another player showed up another player's ship once beforehand, and it was shown on Twitter, and I even made a video on it once. I called it 2 Warframes 1 ship, and for some reason it got a shit ton of views. Kind of weird. It's probably just because of the title. But yeah, you know, it was there, and yeah, it happens, and I don't really think it has to be a thing that's in the game, and nor do I think it's a bad thing for the game. So if it's there, it's there. If it's not, then it's not. It doesn't really matter to me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that there. Thank you for the poster of the convex poster. Continue. Noble Zero, hi Flynn, I want honest please, do you like the current state of the game after all the unnecessary nerfs? There are exceptions, so what do you think? Do you like the nerfs and the mostly useless content that he releases for the new players, but for the veterans is meh? You see, the thing is, like I say in a lot of my videos, I'm a guy who has the opinion that you know, if they make it so that the beginning experience for a player is super easy, super linear, and they can all get to the point of the War of In, no problems, no questions asked, without having to like go out to secondary source, like say a YouTube channel or something like that there to understand the game, and they're able to explain all of the game mechanics in game, it would make Warframe a better game because that way everyone would be on a level playing field. right now, in my opinion, DE are basically just trying to appeal to their widest audience, which is the casual market of gamers who don't understand this game completely without having to go and find a secondary source of information, which would make them more inclined to play the game a lot less, which is why they're going back and they're making, beginner content again, rather than, making the end game a lot more vast and a lot more better, because that's a very small percentage of their player base, right? We're not the biggest percentage of these player base, which means we're not the biggest interest. We're probably also not the people who spend the most money, because we can get everything in the game for free. So DE's interest shifts to the beginning player. Am I happy with the current state of Warframe? I'm going to be honest, I'm not. I preferred Warframe back when it had the tires, but that's my personal opinion. I was used to that. A lot of players come into the game and they see this relic system and they love it because it's something new, it's something fresh for them. But as a player who's seen the game being in a better state, I don't like it personally. But again, we are a minority of players. DE is out to impress the majority of players. So they're going to take the majority of people, and if the majority says something fine, then that's the direction that they're going to go in. They're not going to revert any relic changes. They're not going to revert anything like that there. So they're always going to go with what the casual player wants instead of focusing on getting everyone to the same point, which is something that I feel this game really, really, really needs, is everyone to be on a level playing field, just like Destiny does it. Once you complete Destiny's main storyline, you're on par with everyone else. You have to go and do the exact same things as everyone else, and you understand the game the same way everyone else does. You point things, or you point your gun at the thing, you shoot the thing, and it dies. In Warframe, it's so much more complicated, which makes it so that it's harder for players to get to the point of the War within, which means less people are there, less people are at endgame, which makes it so that DE doesn't develop for endgame, which is unfortunate, sadly. And yeah, that's really all I can say about it in this video without going deeper into detail. But yeah, that was a pretty good question. I appreciate that. Thank you for it, and thank you for the gift also, Nibble0. I appreciate that. So Argon Crystal Decoration, that is pretty awesome. Another one from Wolfie. I don't usually gift, but when I do, I do. What? I don't usually gift, but when I do. By the way, YouTube vid 1v10 Powder Fries Street. Okay. Panoramic view. Okay, I got one from the Lotus. That's just some referral platinum that DE are sending to me because I refer people to the game. But yeah, that's because I have a referral code. A person bought platinum, signed up under my referral code, and I got 10%. Pretty awesome. Hey Flynn, enjoyed watching your stream today. I want to ask, could you go through all the frames and recommend the best augment for each frame if that's not much to ask? See, the best augment is kind of subjective because every single augment has their own build, if you think about it. So you should be really, if you're going to be putting a mod on a frame, you should be building it around that augment. A very good example of that there would be Trinity, for example. Let's take a look at my Trinity build. I build around the augment known as my Vampire Leech right here. So Energy Vampire augment, excess energy is replenishes shields by 150%. Which means whenever I hit my energy cap and I get energy from Energy Vampire over that cap, I'm then going to turn off that there into shields, right? So what I do is I don't put Prime Flow in this build, and I make it so that, this build is tailored to that augment. So trying to recommend a augment for every single frame is not a stupid idea, because there are obviously augments which stand out a lot more other than, others, if you get what I'm saying. But you can't just recommend one augment and say, okay, this is going to be good in every sort of situation. A frame that has a lot of different augments, for example, being Ash right here. So you have the Seeking Shuriken build, you have the Smoke Shadow build, if I believe I have it on here. You have to put different builds for every single one of them. So, that's just my 2 cents in that topic right there. But I guess if you want to go through, I recommend most of the augments here for Ash. So we have Seeking Shuriken right here. It'll strip away enemies' armor. And you have Smoke Shadow, which is very good in raids if you're playing Ash in a raid. Moving on, I didn't mean to get out of my arsenal right there. Moving on to Atlas. I don't play Atlas too much, so I cannot give you the best sort of answer right here. But if we take a look at them and we read them, Org is Petrify augment. Petrified enemies are scanned into the codex and have 20% drop chance. So this basically rerolls your drop table, kind of like Necros with his Desecrate. Titanic augment, create up to 2 walls with 70% health. Walls can no longer be turned into boulders. Not a fan of that one. Creates a single rumbler with 120% health, 120% damage, and 50% speed that taunts nearby enemies into attacking it. This here one sounds pretty cool, but again, I don't know the necessities to modding around this augment because I don't use Atlas too much. Moving on to Banshee right here, the one that I recommend is Resonance, because, Resonance is just great. It recasts your sonar, so you build your sonar around it. pretty awesome. Savage Silence is pretty cool as well because of the finisher damage, but they kind of nerfed, or they buffed the duration of it, making this build less viable, at least in my opinion. And then also you have Resonating Quake as well, which basically just extends the range of this mod, but it also makes it so it takes more energy, so that's why I don't personally use it. Moving on then to Chroma. Again, I do not play Chroma a lot, so I can't recommend it. I don't even believe I have any augments for him, but what I do recommend with Chroma is throwing on a bunch of Arcanes and using the Ice form to, you know, basically be a tank with Chroma. So I can't recommend anything for him because I'm not as educated as I would like to be with Chroma. For Ember, I recommend Firequake because then whenever you hit your 4, everything's going to fall over, and whenever you run near them, it's just basically going to be crowd control and damage on top of it. It's pretty cool. Moving on to, whoops, I didn't mean to press upgrade again. Moving on to Equinox. There's a lot of different things that you can do for Equinox, but I recommend this Pacify and Provoke build if I have it equipped. There we go. Peaceful Provocation. This basically turns Equinox into Nova because you can, you know, slow the enemies a shit ton. So you can stack a Equinox and you can stack a Nova slow with one another, and it's pretty awesome. That's whenever you're in the night form though. So you have to like self damage yourself, and that stacks up the slow buff, and then the slow buff is applied to any enemy within range of your ability. Pretty awesome. Moving on to Excalibur. Excalibur, my favorite augment for Excalibur is Radiant Finish because it makes blind enemies take a lot more damage from your finisher attacks. That's pretty much all it is. This is the build form as well. If you want to go ahead and pause, you can check that out. Going over to Frost right here. Chilling Globe is probably one of the best augments for him, but there is other ones as well. But Chilling Globe is by far my favorite because any enemies that walk in has a 50% chance to be frozen, which is pretty sweet. Moving on to Hydroid right here. Obviously, it has to be the little tentacle things. What's it called? Pilfering Swarm. Just basically rerolls their drop table whenever they get hit by this ability. Pretty awesome. Anaros, can't recommend. Don't play this this Warframe a lot. Too much smite. So, you know, I can't recommend anything for him. Moving on to our Ivara right here. Ivara has a different like variety of augments. I believe there's one which will allow you to pass through lasers. Not too sure what the name is. If I even have it, Infiltrate, there you go. So it allows you to pass through lasers in spy missions, which makes you pretty awesome, but the downside to that there is you're slow, so, you know, you can do whatever you want. The other ones, I just ignore. Moving on to Limbo right here. Again, don't play Limbo too much, so can't really recommend. This is actually my nuke build for Limbo, but Haven's a pretty good one for the healing, especially whenever it came to that Pacifism Defect event, that one. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was very helpful, and I like to use that there mod a lot. Loki, it has to be a Radiating Disarm. This mod basically turns Loki into Nyx because it makes all the enemies fight one another and it disarms them. So there's no reason not to have this mod on here. Moving on to Mag. I mean, I don't use Mag anymore, so there's really nothing. Shield Polarize used to be a great mod, and it had an augment to it, which would basically, you know, anytime you dealt damage to enemy shields, it would turn enemy shields into health for yourself. So we go ahead and take a look at the augments here. I'm pretty sure I had it. Let's see, shield transference. Polarized augment. Mag gains 50% over shields from depleted enemy shields. That would be, in my opinion, the best augment for Mag. Greedy Pull is also a thing, but that got nerfed a little bit. Moving on to Mesa over here. I don't know. I don't play Mesa like other players do. I just use the Duration Shatter Shield build and Peacemaker and then the kill thing, so I can't recommend anything for her. Obviously, we have Mirage over here who has a wide variety of different augments which have very different effects. I use Total Eclipse because it gives you and your teammates a awesome damage buff and turns Mag into a buffer as well as a damage dealer, which, you know, no downside to that right there. Necros, again, there's a lot of different mods that you can equip here, so you can go with, you know, your Shield of Shadows, you can go with your Despoil. It's really down to you. Those are the two ones that I like. Creepy and Terrify, not so much. I don't really like it too much. Nezha, don't play him enough to actually recommend. Nidus, I don't even know if he has any augment mods yet. Nova, I don't use any augment mods on her for the simple fact that she doesn't need them. Nyx, I use the Chaos Spear augment mod, which basically turns like her chaos into a reverse Nova, so this big ball is going to collapse around you and, you know, make any enemies within it or that walk into it basically, you know, crowd controlled or fighting one another. Mesmerize is a better word. Oberon, can't recommend because he's getting changed. Octavia doesn't have any. Rhino, the thing with Rhino is I just use very default builds on him, so I don't have any of the augment mods. So this is my range stump build, you know, so that's all I really use him for, that and buffing up with Roar. So, you know, I don't do that there. Same with Saren, I don't use any augment mods on her. Trinity, I've already showed the Vampire Leech one, so you guys know about that there one. I'll hover over it again, Vampire Leech. And then if we go on to Vauban, you have Repelling Bastille. Sorry, let's go Valkyr first. Eternal War is an awesome one. This is my build based around Eternal War. Basically, every kill that you get when meleeing gives you 2 seconds extra on your Warcry, which increases your attack speed. Pretty awesome. Vauban, Repelling Bastille, because, you know, it keeps the enemies out of the cage as well as picks anyone up inside it. And if we move on to, let's say, Vault over here, I don't use any augments on Vault. I just go with my CC build and my speed build, and then that's pretty much that. And then last but not least, we have our Wukong, which I don't use any augments on either. And then we also have Zephyr, which, you know, I'm not going to look at, but we're going to take a look at these things right here. So Iron Jab augment. Iron Jab at the ground launches Wukong into the air, executing a slam attack, increasing the range by 8 meters and applies 300% extra damage. Primal Fury increases critical chance by 6%, and then which increases the decay by 1% per second. So that one's a good one, but it's got diminishing returns on it, so, you know, use it at your own risk. And then Zephyr, I like to run Turbulence on her because it basically just blocks all incoming damage and makes her pretty awesome. Not Turbulence, sorry, Jetstream, which is the Turbulence augment. So yeah, that is all the Warframes and the augments and stuff. So yeah, you know, that was pretty fast. I'm sorry that if I went too fast for you. You know, I have to answer other questions too, but yeah, there you go. That was that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next few questions after I open your thing, unless I already did open your thing. Let's take a look. Scroll down a little bit. Go up, go down, please. Stay there. Got 2 from the Lotus. Go to Shadow Cluster. Hey dude, love your videos. Could you show your graphic settings? I really like them. Thanks in advance. So, I can turn everything up to high because I have a GTX 1080 and a Intel 5930K in my system, being water cooled by an all-in-one Kraken X62. So yeah, let's go display. So here you go. The only thing that I turn off is anisotropic filtering and anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing, what that basically does is it makes the reflections of light seem a lot better and basically like adds like little cracked shadows to the Warframes and stuff. So you don't really need that there for everything to look pretty. But if you can, go ahead and turn that there on. I'll show you guys with it turned on actually, because I can do that. So let's turn this up to 16 times, and we also turn this up to high, and then you can turn this all the way up, and then you can press confirm, and then it makes everything look a lot sharper. And yeah, they all look like absolute badasses. You can really see the detail in Ash's chest with these settings enabled. So yeah, like everything is super detailed after that point, and you still maintain, at least in my opinion, a very stable frame rate. So if you can like find settings which max this quality or match this quality, by all means go for it. But anti-aliasing, like I said, guys, that is a very intensive resource hog. And it only adds like little tiny details. It just makes things stand out just a little bit better. So you don't necessarily need to have that turned on, because that will hinder your performance a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that back off now, because I like to have it turned off just because of, what's it called? Just because of me streaming. I turn it off because, you know, obviously I don't need it. It's just all about the gameplay and how smooth it is. So let's see if we can pair it. You know, it doesn't look as if it pops out as much anymore, at least in my opinion, on my screen. So, you know, you can do what you want with it. That's just down to your opinion, really. But everything's on high, and yeah, that's all you really need to know, really. So if we go into inbox, we take a look up again at Pug Bros. Yo, iFlynn, all of your videos, watch them whenever I get a chance. Sadly, I got back late most days. I don't get time to be first to grab the code. Anyway, just want to say that I'm always there supporting you and hope you'll never quit YouTube. Enjoy. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the kind words. You know, it would be awesome if every single YouTube comment was like that there, but a lot of the YouTube comments is just like first or shit video, or, you know, I have a better build. But, you know, I really appreciate it whenever fans come out to me, like in messages or through this here, and say nice things like that there. It's awesome, and it makes me want to keep on making videos and want to keep on live streaming, doing all that other stuff. So, you know, past couple of days, it's been awesome doing live streaming because I've met so many awesome people. Same with YouTube this past couple months. It's been awesome. More people are saying, yo, Flynn, love your content. It's been awesome making content for you guys, and it's just awesome, the community that we have now. Yo, iFlynn, can you help me find the Nada quest and help me in Sabotage Cache in Uranus if you can try when I'm on tomorrow, and if you on tomorrow, thanks. The thing is, I can only really help you whenever I'm on stream, but those should be things that you should be doing solo as well, because they're rather easy. So the NATA quest, all you have to do is scan an Oculus. So bring a codec scanner and aim it at the blue thing that you'll see. You'll hear like a little, like, I want to say almost like a wheel noise or a dolphin noise. And then he'll spawn in and he'll start scanning things around you. Just go ahead and scan that guy, and then that'll unlock you in the NATA quest. And then sabotage caches, just equip the mod known as Loot Radar, and then that'll help you find those caches very easy. Make sure to check all the rooms, check all the corners, all those things, and then you should eventually find it. Thank you for the gift though, Gallium Decorations ×2. That is pretty awesome. Thank you, Awesome Dude 24. That boy, can you tell us about your whole gaming career? What was your first game? Some memorable moments? Anything? So, my gaming career, I don't want to say I was almost forced into it. I kind of fell into it in a sense, because like my intention was to never sit inside all day and play video games or anything like that. I want to say an opportunist. I take opportunities as they come and go. So yeah, any opportunity that I get, I'll obviously take it and use it to its best extent. But as a kid, going through primary school and even secondary school for that matter, I was put down a lot, like by teachers or by people surrounding me. So I was kind of like, in a sense, a shutaway, because I was told that I was going to have a hard life, or I was going to feel this, I was going to feel that there. And in the end up, like, I never failed any exam. I never had any troubles, like, talking to people or anything like that there. It was just my choice to not talk to people that I didn't, like, necessarily like. Like, everyone who lives around me, at least in my opinion, with the exception of a few people, are really assholes. Like, anyone that I went to high school with, I tried to disconnect myself from almost completely, unless I liked them in a certain degree. You know, to the extent where I would go as far to, like, speak to them, like, just, you know, just go up to them and say, hey, what's up? Those are the only type of people that I would ever have or want anything to do with outside of school. Otherwise, I just want to forget everything about high school, everything about primary school. I absolutely hated it, because I was constantly being put down by, like I said, teachers, classmates, whatever, saying that I would never make it in life, or I'm going to have a hard life, or I'm going to have trouble socializing with people or anything like that there. So I fell into this sort of, like, I like to sit inside and play video games all day because I was being put down that much. People are telling my mom and dad this, and they begin to believe it because I was shutting myself inside. But the reality of it is I'm a good person. You know, I can speak to people. I speak to hundreds of people a day on live stream. I can speak to people whenever I go to a place where I enjoy going to. Whenever I'm surrounded by, I don't want to say the ideal circumstances, but the right people, then I can speak to people no problem, you know. As long as a person's showing respect towards me and I'm showing respect back there, I have no problem. What I hate about being around here is everyone has a grudge versus one another. Everyone's holding a gun to one another's head for absolutely no reason other than just to take the piss out of someone, which is kind of upsetting, at least in my opinion. That's just kind of how it is in Northern Ireland. So I fell into this sort of, you know, I'm just going to play video games all day, and I made my friends through that there. I've made awesome friends in the Discord. I've made awesome friends on Twitch streams. I've made awesome friends on YouTube, and it's pretty awesome because it's a community that I'm interested in. It's a lot of people that have the same interests as me and still, you know, have like their regular life as well. And it's just awesome, like awesome community, if you know what I mean. The first game that I remember playing was Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation 2, and that's whenever I really started just playing a shit ton of games. Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, things like that there. I got addicted to Call of Duty whenever I got my PlayStation 3. I originally got the PlayStation 3 to play Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank got boring, and then I jumped over to Little Big Planet. I found a guy on there called Jack. I think his name was LeedsFan65 on PlayStation. He introduced me to Call of Duty World at War. Started playing that there, got addicted. I got to the point where I got super good at Call of Duty, and I was dropping DNA bombs every single match in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Moabs and Modern Warfare 3, Nukes and Modern Warfare 2. It was crazy. And that's when I really sort of thought, hey, I want to be a YouTuber. So I started to play Call of Duty. Destiny came out at the time. I was interested in Destiny as well. So I picked up Destiny. I started making a few videos in that there. The first Destiny video I posted got 50,000 views. And then I thought, okay, well, if I can make that much views with a Destiny video, then surely I can do it with Call of Duty. So I pursued the Call of Duty thing on a new channel because I didn't like the name of my old channel. It's called Aaron's Gaming TV. You can look it up and I'll put a link in the description. Pretty embarrassing, but you know, my face is on there. If you still don't know what I look like, you can see that in the 26-second Orbital VSAT video, and I'll also link my Destiny videos down there as well. But yeah, I play Call of Duty, and I got really good at it. I got DNA bombs. I sent a DNA bomb over to a YouTuber known as Nero Cinema. I got featured on his channel. He has 300,000 subscribers. I got featured on his channel for a thing called DNA Saturday, which he shows the best DNA bomb gameplays and stuff, and I got the second one of the year, which was pretty cool. And then I got 300 subscribers overnight. I started making COD videos. I posted them. One day I made a Warframe video. 1.3 million views later, here I am today, talking to you guys via message. It's pretty awesome, and I love it. But thank you, that boy, for the awesome question, and thank you also for the galleon. We've got 2 more questions to answer. I'm sorry this video is super long. Stealthine. Whoops, okay. What would be the best dagger for covert lethality? I'd say the Rakta Dark Dagger from the Red Veil Syndicates, because it's got that awesome proc effect on it. Thank you for the Orican Cell decoration, my friend. Or when it comes to Anaros, yeah, I'd still say the Rakta Cernos. Or not the Rakta Cernos, Rakta Dark Dagger. It's got that awesome effect on it, and I like it. Wolfie. Hey iFlynn, can you tell us how you find or get Kubros in real life? If not, what about snails? Will they ever exist in Warframe? And if so, what type of mobs would they be? Also, thanks for wasting your time on this, oh, yeah, nearly forgot message. Okay, then. If you like this video, hit that like button below. If you want to see more content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.